From deep within Mordok's castle, a foul stench rose up to mix with the cold, damp midnight air. The telltale sign of the evil wizard's pet fire-breathing dragon, Singe, the beast that guarded the Princess Daphne in the deadly caves far below the surface. Dirk the Daring walked steadily toward the castle gate. He felt no fear, but then fear was for cowards. No other would dare to enter this perilous castle where Mordok had imprisoned the helpless princess. But for Dirk, there was no other possible course to take. Now was the time for heroes. Now is the time for action. Now is the time to enter the Dragon's Lair. And this is Dragon's Lair from Motive Time Limited and Data East, released in 1993, part of that Dragon's Lair franchise, also known as Dragon's Magic in Japan, and Sullivan Bluth presents Dragon's Lair in Europe. This one is a bit of an outlier from the rest of the games. There are a couple of different versions of the Dragon Lair game. There are... that was the wrong one I clicked on. It was originally first game in the series was a Laserdisc game published by Cinematronics and took place in arcades. It was kind of one of them quick, tiny things. It had really good graphics because it was all done using Laserdiscs. It was ported to several platforms, but no home systems of the era could accommodate the graphic quality of the Laserdisc. Abridged versions were released under different names. The first true sequel, Dragon's Lair 2 Time Warp, would appear in 1991. While the graphics were once again praised, poor controls and limited interactivity kept it from reaching the popularity of the original. Two main games in the series are considered classics and are constantly re-released for each new generation of consoles. In 2010, they were bundled alongside an unrelated 1984 Bluth Group game, Space Ace, and the Dragon's Lair trilogy, which was made available for multiple platforms. It had a short-lived cartoon series on ABC and a comic book. Plans for a feature-length film, have existed since the 80s and resurfaced again in 2015 when Bluth launched a crowdfunding campaign to secure funds for the movie pitch. After an unsuccessful bid on Kickstarter, a second Indiegogo campaign managed to reach its target in early 2016. All right. Looking through, there's not even an entry for the Super Nintendo version, really. We've got the original Laserdisc version, Escape from Singe's Castle, Dragon's Lair Part 2 from 1987 for the Amstrad, the Commodore, and the ZX Spectrum. Dragon's Lair is a platform game from Motive Time and CSG ImageSoft, released for the NES. Its plot is identical to that of the original. Probably the closest one to this one. Nope, here we go. Dragon's Lair, 1993 platform game developed by Motive Time, published by Data East. Its plot is identical to that of the original. It's a platformer, really. In its essence, we just move around, jump, kill things, try not to die. It's hard. The controls are not as bad as the NES one. The NES controls were pretty bad. But I wouldn't say it's the most fun game I've ever played, but it's definitely worth a play, especially if you, like me, are a big fan of Don Bluth and all of the work that he has done.